Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. I'm Mark Salinger. The impacts of domestic violence impact more people than we know. Tonight, a park in Westminster served as a reminder of that. Family and friends gathered for a vigil to remember 37-year-old Annette Valdez, a mother of three who was found dead earlier this month. Net News reporter Colton Chavez was there and shares their story. Hey, Colton.
Hey, Mark, and you said it tonight. Loved ones tell me it was all about honoring Annette, but also calling for change when it comes to domestic violence in Colorado.
She made sure that everyone, knew how much they were loved.
Annette Valdez meant so much to so many.
My mother.
At a candlelight vigil, her daughter, Ace Valdez, says she now has to be strong for her two sisters.
So losing her is like the hardest thing on me right now. And I try my hardest to keep it together for the girls, but I am losing a lot of myself, honestly.
Police say 37-year-old Annette Valdez disappeared after Thanksgiving and was found dead in a trash can near Willowbrook Park in Westminster just 1 week later. An arrest affidavit shows her former partner, Thomas Perales, admitted to choking her during an argument and then discreetly carrying her body around for days.
We're going to keep fighting for domestic violence, and we're going to keep spreading her name everywhere.
Perales had been released from jail just 1 week before Annette's disappearance, with a long history of domestic violence cases.
I can't wake up to her good morning messages. I can't call her no more, and it's really been hard on me and my sisters.
Annette's family says they want her name to come with change.
There's a lot of survivors coming because we are asking for domestic violence to be taken serious.
That's why they believe the woman who meant so much can still help so many.
Let your family help you, because there's always a way out. And if you know somebody going through it, speak up.
Perales was arrested on suspicion of second-degree murder. His first appearance in court will be on Wednesday. In Westminster, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
In developing national news, the search is underway for the shooter who opened fire at Brown University in Rhode Island this afternoon. At least 2 people were killed and 9 others were injured. The shooting happened at an engineering and physics building where students were taking their final exams. Police say the suspect was last seen leaving the engineering building, and he's still on the run. Authorities believe the shooter used a handgun. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley said a shelter in place remains in effect. He told people living near the campus to stay inside and not return home until that order is lifted.
We want the community to know that we are using every resource at our disposal to find the individual responsible and bring them to justice. But in the meantime, we're asking folks to stay inside, and if they're not at home, to not return to their house at this time.
It's still unclear if the victims are students. Police have not released any other suspect information at this time. A federal judge is denying the Justice Department access to certain pieces of evidence in its effort to prosecute former FBI Director James Comey. The judge says prosecutors didn't follow the law in obtaining that evidence. The judge ordered investigators to immediately return electronic data that they accessed from Comey's lawyer and friend more than 5 years ago. The judge said the federal government violated the Fourth Amendment rights. It comes weeks after another federal judge dismissed the case against Comey after interim U.S. Attorney and longtime Coloradan Lindsay Halligan was illegally appointed. Coming back closer to home now, we enjoyed a sunny and warm day here in December. It was beautiful out there as we talked about the weather. If you're hoping for snow anytime soon in Denver, you may just want to keep wishing for it. Looking dry and warm for the next couple of weeks. Jaden Knowles joining us this evening. Jaden, it doesn't feel like December out there.
You know what it feels like, Mark? It honestly feels like September, just a little bit.
It really does.
The end of September as we head into October. We saw temperatures in the 60s once again. That makes 5 days in a row. And looking at the 7-day forecast, noticing there's going to be multiple more days in a row that we see the 60s. 67 degrees is what's forecasted for Wednesday, and that's all because of that high-pressure system that's continuing to build up. But overall, temperatures not as warm as what we saw this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 30s, the upper 20s in some locations at the airport. You're at 30 degrees currently, and temperatures across the entire state. Noticing the northeastern portions of the state a lot cooler, and that's because of that storm system that's just a little bit towards the north of us. It's not really affecting us across the metro area, but the airport, you're starting to see that cooler air as well. Today's high was 63 degrees officially at the airport. Look at down south towards Pueblo. You saw 74 degrees, so pretty steamy out there across the entire state with the exception of the northeastern portions of the state. Live radar, nice and dry. Of course, we're not tracking any precipitation here really in the next 6 to 7 days, but all the action is just north of us as well as over towards the East Coast. That's where they're seeing that snowfall. Of course, the Broncos take on the Green Bay Packers tomorrow. Temperatures once again nice and sunny. We'll have more details about that later on in the show. Mark?
Jaden, thank you. Federal authorities are offering a reward for information leading to the arrest of a man suspected of robbing a postal worker in Denver yesterday. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service said the robbery happened yesterday morning in the residential area off Roslyn Street in 8th Place in East Denver. Officials don't have any photos or videos of the suspect at this time, but said that a possible gun was seen in his belt. A reward of up to $150,000 is being offered. Now, the suspect could face some serious consequences in that crime. Robbery of a postal worker is a federal crime. The Adams County Sheriff's Office is warning of a new email scam targeting the county. The Sheriff's Office says scammers are posing as county employees and officials. Scammers are then sending fake invoices to businesses asking for permit fees to be paid by wire transfer. The Sheriff's Office says permits are fake and are urging people not to send them money. If you're unsure if an email is real or not, you're asked to call the county to confirm. Colorado lawmakers are considering ending the state's higher education department in its current form, and the plan is now to replace it with a new agency that would merge several departments together. Democratic House Speaker Julie McCluskey's proposed plan would merge the state's higher education and labor departments under one roof. If this passes through the legislature, Colorado would become just the second state in the country to adopt this type of approach after red-leaning Missouri did the same thing in 2019. Now, Missouri's department leader says the biggest benefit has been improved coordination between education and employment system. Job centers, for example, are now located on college campuses across the state.
It just opens up more conversations. It allows for the colleges and universities to come play a more direct part in economic development and serving the state and serving the regions. So you just end up with just healthier, broader conversations.
Colorado could be combining up to 7 different state departments into one, which would obviously take some time. Aurora City Council is now set to hold its first meeting next week under new rules for public comment. The new rule gives the public 1 hour at the beginning of each session and 1 hour at the end as well to speak to council members through that public comment. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes, kind of like it was before. The change now comes after the newly sworn-in council unanimously voted to bring public comment back to its meetings. Public comment was held before the meeting since this summer. It was then taken off after there was the people protesting the deadly police shooting of Kylan Lewis in Aurora.